Fans, thanks for clicking today's Dreaded D-Rose report with more news on pro wrestling. Monday's episode of Raw, which is sometimes not good news. Monday's episode of Raw with the Extreme Rules Fallout, just the night before, it only did a 2.96 rating, which is barely up from last week of 2.92. Noted earlier that the show averaged about 4,200,000 viewers. Well, that's up 4% too from the week before, but last year's post-WrestleMania Raw did a 3.33 and averaged about 4.9 million viewers. Down quite a bit. And TMZ, that's in everybody's business, reported that Hall of Famer, WWE's Hall of Famer, one and only Sunny, Tammy Lynn Cinch, she's been released from prison in Connecticut. She contracted HPV before entering the prison and learned that it had become cervical cancer. And Sunny has undergone a hysterectomy while I was there, and apparently she's now cancer-free. Good deal. The Hall of Famer, though, she was jailed for 4 months, of course. I guess you remember that, with the troubles of Damian Darling, her boyfriend. And she was arrested 6 times in 4 months during a period for spousal abuse, mainly. Anyway, after that, they finally put her in jail because she just couldn't stay away from him and couldn't stop beating on him. But Sunny has written an autobiography while being in prison and is going to be moving to New Mexico for a new start. She is on a conditional discharge for the next 2 years. So I hope she can make it, but boy, you get in a pattern, you kind of lose faith in people sometime. I hope she makes it, though. And a couple of people last night mentioned at the SmackDown tapings in Omaha, Nebraska, that one half of the WWE Tag Team Champions, Roman Reigns, may have been injured at the pay-per-view. Apparently, Reigns tweaked his ankle during the 6-man tag match with the Shield taking on Orton, Show, and Kingston, and Reigns started leaping. He started just the opposite, limping around after the spot with Orton on the ring apron. Reigns was seen limping around the ring during the end of the match and was helped to the back by the referees right after the finish of the match. Post-show beatdown by the babyfaces took place, but only Ambrose and Rollins were involved. So, did I miss something because they said by the babyfaces? So is the Shield now babyface? And Show and Kingston and Orton heels? I'm confused with that. I don't know. Something might have changed. I missed it. Nothing new. Depending on whether or not The Rock decides to wrestle again, Brock Lesnar may return to TV, WWE TV, later this year to begin a feud either with The Rock or The Undertaker. And it turns out the spot a few weeks ago where Lesnar stopped and stared at the poster of The Rock wasn't scripted by WWE officials. Apparently, that was Lesnar going into business for himself. I guess he'd like to meet up with him. Can't remember. I'd have to go do my little flashback thing. Have they ever fought before? I have. And how it turned out. While nobody knows if The Rock's going to return yet, Vince McMahon and others in the company feel that the feeling's better. He'll be feeling better this fall and will agree to work WrestleMania 30 against Lesnar. Rock will. Most likely he'll be healed up. He'll feel better. And if he don't have within the last year and a half, he's had a string of movies come out, and he's still working on them. But if it slows down, which I'm sure The Rock don't want it to, he'll have more time to to get ready and just not be. Boy, he flies with the seat of his pants if anybody does. Going into Extreme Rules, there was talk of doing something with a gimmicked ring in either the strap match or the steel cage match. This was brought up at a meeting before the pay-per-view, and presumably the idea was nixed when they had to decide to go with the breakaway wall gimmick at the finish of Ryback versus Cena match. And according to current plans with Orton versus Sheamus matches coming up, And it may be the featured match at the SummerSlam pay-per-view. One of them is going to have to turn heel soon. Orton has been rumored, of course, he wants to be a heel. He likes being a heel. Recent New York Post article on Wrestling Observer, Dave Meltzer, which I seen, they had a couple of pictures of him, made the rounds backstage at WWE and wrestling. Some of the wrestlers were remarking that Meltzer's office looked exactly as they figured it would. A mess. They have a lot of wrestling memorabilia on the wall too, but oh well. WWE is looking to hire a new commentator, by the way, and I know you guys commentate every once in a while on comments. Oh, but I don't think they're looking for that kind of comments, though. They want commentators that's going to promote wrestling. This is it isn't necessarily an indication that they're looking to get rid of the Miz or anybody else like that. They're just constantly looking for new commentators. They're looking for one for the main event right now. There was some talk at Sunday's Extreme Rules pay-per-view that Orton's punt kick was a one-time thing for the gimmick for the pay-per-view, but Orton's appearance before the hometown crowd also. With Orton not using the move on Monday's Raw, the feeling is it was more likely just a special spot for the pay-per-view. And representing WWE, Jim Ross will be at a meeting with officials from the NFL Players Association in Washington, D.C. Ross is looking to develop a working relationship that could see the NFLPA send players whose football aspirations have ended to the WWE tryouts. Ross told Alex Marvez and Jim Miller on their Sirius XM NFL show Tuesday night, everybody doesn't make the 53-man roster. Some guys are going to be looking for more work, and we've got some job openings. And maybe we can put them together and create something wonderful someday. And maybe not. But JRR also told Marvez that he has spoken with WWE executives about initiating a relief effort for the victims of Moore, Oklahoma also that got hit with the tornadoes. Ross lives in Norman, Oklahoma, and watched the storms as they hit, on TV. Natalya did some local media with Vince Brodus and Naomi Tuesday morning, and Cameron noted on Twitter that she's been sick lately and had to visit the doctors 4 times in 1 week. Man. The former Michael McGillicuddy has changed his Twitter handle now, and he's tweeting under @RealCurtisAxel. He tweeted Monday on Monday's Raw. He says, "Do you see me now? Curtis Axel has arrived. I'm the game changer." Zack Ryder's featured in a new issue of Muscle Fitness magazine. It must be their comedy issue, I guess, because I don't know. Stephanie McMahon was asked on Twitter how Triple H is doing after Monday's Raw. She replies, "He's pretty beat up, but he'll be okay." And WWE's website posted a storyline update on Triple H, by the way, after Monday's Raw. Dr. Sampson noted that they advised Triple H that he shouldn't wrestle after Extreme Rules because of a head and jaw trauma that he suffered. Sampson says after further evaluation, Triple H is still exhibiting post-concussion symptoms, and he'll be out of action until WWE medical staff can do further neurological testing. I've said it good last week. Can't say it this way. Also noted that the neurological test will be conducted near the end of the week when Triple H's headache has subsided. Also, WWE storyline update on Cena. Dr. Sampson told us that Cena is banged up and has multiple contusions from Extreme Rules match, but is doing better and anticipates, he's got a recovery timeline he's got to go through. Sampson described it as a day-by-day, noting that he does not anticipate any problems that would hinder his process. Hey, guess I'll go. Thanks for clicking, you guys. I gotta go.